And many thanks for your time, sir. So we'll try and reach Freddie Blay as he works on his sound. We're also joined by Peter Otukuno. He's Deputy General Secretary of the Opposition National Democratic Congress. Good afternoon to you, Peter.
Good afternoon.
Okay, good. You can hear me. All right, let me go back to Mr. Freddie Blay. If you can hear me now, the restrictions have been eased. I guess the question on the minds of many now is, what comes next in terms of your plan of activities for your party?
Well, we will meet possibly tomorrow or the next day. I'm talking about this steering committee, and we will take decisions that will not go contrary to the restrictions that have been imposed, even by the realization that the president had announced yesterday.
We do know that these primaries, your party's primaries, were scheduled to be held in April. A lot of time has gone by. How are your MPs? How is this affecting your MPs and their chances going forward?
Obviously, they are a bit quite worried and uncertain as to the future relating to the primaries. And the party is trying to put its head through consultation, finding ways of ensuring that the primaries are conducted. We could even consider e-voting, or we could go to electoral areas to conduct the primaries. That may involve a little more money and resources. Indeed, some kind of supervision will be quite challenging, but we will manage it. We will make a decision, as I told you. Within a couple of days, we'll do so.
You've indicated that it will be quite challenging. Indeed, it will require some resources, including money. How challenging would it be? How prepared is the party for these upcoming primaries?
You have to find a way. You had not expected it. As you yourself pointed out, you should have undertaken the primaries, or you have conducted the primaries as far back as April. And of course, nobody expected COVID-19 to hit that hard. Unfortunately, it's still around with us. So we've got to find a way around it. And I told you we will be meeting a couple of days from now, and then we'll take a decision. If we want to conduct the elections at polling station, at electoral areas, I said supervision will have to be carried out by a lot of more personalities. The party executives and the electoral commission will have to supervise it. That may involve a lot. And then, of course, the protocols as well. You would need to have people with the relevant mask and the sanitation accoutrement and so forth and so on. This will involve some kind of resources, and we never envisage that, but we will manage it. We'll find a way around it. Don't have any choice. We will have to conduct the primaries, come what may.
Let's talk about the president. I mean, it's a foregone conclusion that he will be leading the party into the 2020 elections. But how will the process to acclaim him, if you will, pan out?
Well, we have a constitution. The same way that we're going to conduct our primaries, we will definitely do that, because at the end of the day, he's the only candidate that had come out and have filed, and for that matter, it's a formality. But according to our constitution, we will need to even then do some kind of acclamation. But even that is subject to the Council of the National Council, making some kind of adjustment to it. considering the COVID-19 protocols as well.
Now, I understand, you said it earlier, that you would be meeting as executives to decide on a date for the primaries. But what time frame, and the acclamation for the president, but what time frame are you looking at?
I can't say for certain, but definitely as early as practicable, we will do so. Definitely we will do so.
All right, and would you be campaigning? You have barely 6 months to the elections.
We have no choice but to campaign. It's unfortunate, but every other party will have to campaign. Every individual, I'm talking about even the parliamentarians and the aspirants from both sides or from all sides, they will do some kind of campaigning. They will do e-campaigning. They might even use posters. They will even come to your studio, like just as you are at the moment hosting me.
I'm asking this because the president yesterday indicated that although the restrictions had been eased for political activities to go ahead, rallies have still been banned. So how really are you going to go around this?
Yes, yes. That's unfortunate, but that's we have got to level with that. Rallies will be maybe the worst way that, if you are not careful, may spread the virus. And for that matter, the president has restricted parties to some kind of other campaigning apart from rallies. It's understandable.
So how specifically are you going to go about it and adhere to the social distancing protocols?
Definitely, we are not going to undertake rallies. So the only thing that we may be doing, as I've told you, if we go to undertake the primaries at the police, at the electoral area level, then of course we will also talk about 30, 40, or maximum 50 people come and cast their votes. We will manage within that. But rallies, unfortunately, we have to avoid undertaking rallies. And that will impact quite severely on our ability to sell ideas, to sell what the president has been doing, to let people know the good things that the party has been doing.
Very well, Mr. Blay. But before I let you go, as you know, earlier today, the NDC addressed the news conference and they alleged that the MPP, or the governing party, is colluding with the EC to go ahead with the compilation of the voters' register and subsequently rig the elections. And that's why the restrictions were eased. How do you respond to that?
Well, it's their pet subject. I've told you, since the last quarter of last year now, the favorite subject had been the voter register that they are against. And they take every opportunity not to canvass their position. I've said that the media and all other platforms are giving that oxygen, but it's cherry picking. We all are aware that the COVID-19 has imposed several restrictions on all aspects of our life. And this is one of the ways of relaxing it. And the president has come out, mentioned that gradually we are going to relax some of such restrictions so that life can come to normalcy, dependent on to what extent the virus could be contained. Now, when the president has come out of it with beautiful idea and is allowing the government, based on advice that is had, is allowing these things to take place. They choose only the compilation of the new voter register as the subject they want to talk about. I think that's their beef, but definitely I believe they are wrong in what they are saying. Nobody is conspiring to rig, definitely not MPP. Unless they want to say that why they were conspired to rig, we wouldn't do so. Ghanaians will have the fair chance of voter register will open it up for all kinds of people.
Very well.
To have their name on the list.
Very well. Thank you so much. And that's National Chairman of the governing New Patriotic Party, Freddie Blay there. I'm also joined on the line by Peter Otukuno. He's Deputy General Secretary of the NDC. Sorry for keeping you on the line, but very quickly, I mean, the NPP chairman says that this is a pet peeve and it's expected of the NDC. Why do you still insist that the easing of the restrictions was just a ploy by the government and the EC to go ahead with what you call an agenda to rig the polls?
Well, it is rather sad that the NPP considers this as one of those things and that we are just accusing them. When the evidence is abound and has even been amplified by their actions on daily basis and the actions of the Electoral Commission, we have said that there has been an agenda by government to denationalize some people. And even before President Akufo-Addo won the 2016 election, he had been playing some citizenship politics, which he brought into power. And that was actualized in the National Identification Law that was sent to Parliament by the National Identification Authority for the NI or Ghana card registration process. It was further amplified by how the process was conducted. Bear in mind that the Ghana card or the National Identification Authority works directly under the instructions of the president. So the president cannot feign unawareness of the exclusion of the voter ID card in the registration for the Ghana card. What is rather surprising is how quickly and willingly the Electoral Commission is available to drop their own position on how they want to conduct their exercise and pick that of the president and make it their own. Indeed, if you look at the records, as we have amply, proven, Jean Mensah, when she was in private practice, never thought that there was a need to change the register. In actual fact, almost all the work that she did on the Ghana Political Parties program, which we have shown the records, was to amplify the need for continuous registration and continuous auditing of the register.
I think that point has been made before.
Strengthen the register.
I think that point has been made before, but the restrictions also affected the NDC and its campaigning efforts. So at what point did the party expect that the government would ease the restrictions?
You see, it is not about restrictions. Already the agenda has been on. The restriction is just a feather in the cap to pursue that rigging agenda between the government and the Electoral Commission. So it's not the restriction alone that is, causing the suspicion or the claim that there is a rigging agenda. The rigging agenda has been, amplified, and the evidence is abound. But the issue about the restriction is just clear. When this COVID-19, outbreak started, and the first EI was issued, you would realize that the National Identification Authority was doing some registration exercise. And we felt that the government would have been bold enough to stop them because the president is the one who issued the EI and the NI was directly under them. We did not see that. When it was sent to court, we saw the government openly, brazenly going to court to contest the matter. They indeed got the ruling on their side. But what the president did yesterday, one, was to state the fact that the NI and the EC were not captured or were not covered or were not supposed to work according to the EI, and that they could do anything that they wanted to do. But that becomes very curious when you consider the fact that the EC themselves were taking actions and, in cases where it will involve political parties, coming together to discuss issues, they would say that, okay, they are working according to the EI. But in cases where they were taking actions to further the compilation of the register, they did that without recourse to the law. And yesterday, the president said that the law didn't cover them. So it means that all the two meetings at IPAC, which they divided only 16 political parties into two groups, into a double track meeting. could have been avoided.
Okay, be that as it may, Mr. Otukono, the restrictions have been eased. What is your party's plan with regards to strategizing to reach out to the electorate?
Before I deal with that, it is important to state that if you look at the nature of the easing of the restrictions that was issued by the president yesterday, it goes even further to amplify our point that we are making. For example, you are saying that churches can meet for 1 hour with 100 people. But you are saying that the Electoral Commission can go ahead and register close to about 17 million people
your National Communications Officer
without any restriction at all.
Mr. Otukono, that point has already been made by your National Communications Officer. We don't have the luxury of time, so I'd like you to address that issue. What's your party's plan in terms of strategizing to reach out to the electorate going forward?
Well, essentially, we would need to reach voters. Our original strategy before this COVID-19 was to de-emphasize mass gatherings and rallies. So it doesn't really, change anything for us, except that now it is more severe. We are unable to even do small gatherings that will feed into our regional campaign strategy. But we have been meeting since, and we have been trying to redesign our campaign strategy for the year. We hope to respond to the challenges of gathering that we have with a more strategic, approach, a more effective approach that will optimize our chances of securing overwhelming victory in the 2020 election.
Very well. Thank you so much for your time, and unfortunately this is where we have to end the show. This has been your election brief with me, Araba Kumsin. My guests have been National Chairman of the governing New Patriotic Party, Freddie Blay, and Peter Otukono. He's Deputy General Secretary of the Opposition National Democratic Congress. We are back tomorrow at 1:30. Thank you for watching.